All right, so how do we know we're actually working within a toxic work environment?
Well, I think first of all, we need to look at whether or not we are contributing to toxicity.
Ooh.
Because once we identify what is toxic and what isn't, then we can look at, okay, am I really in a toxic environment, or am I just not happy here, or am I ready for a change? Let's look at what toxic is to identify if we're in a toxic relationship in the workplace or in a toxic workplace environment.
Dr. Mal, good point. So how can we improve our workplace relationships and culture? I mean, during the Great Resignation, if you are working within a toxic environment.
Yes, and so we're seeing that people are leaving in the millions, not because they're not getting compensated adequately, but because it's toxic. And so if we're contributing to a toxic environment, we might be the one that's grumbling and complaining and not thinking that we are. We might be the one that's positioning ourselves by manipulating or even nonverbal communication with body, like eye contact, rolling our eyes, doing things to actually manipulate someone else's opinion of someone else. So let's look at whether or not we are toxic. And then if we're in a toxic environment, my first suggestion is to put a hula hoop around yourself. Look at yourself. How are you responding? What can you do? Don't let everybody in so that they're creating these toxic responses.
Right. Dr. Mel, I feel like the answer is not to leave necessarily, is it?
Yes. Well, and every situation is unique, right? And so if we are literally in an abusive, really highly toxic, per your video situation, that's a whole different discussion. But if this is a situation we need to work through and really look at and examine, okay, do I have my skill set in place? Do I know my worth? Am I doing my best? Is this something I need to weather the storm and work it out? Or am I actually being sent or called to move to a different spot? And that's a different discussion.
Dr. Mel, does that align with embracing your worth and seeing the worth in your coworkers?
Absolutely. And so everyone that is hired by a company is leading in some way, shape, or form. And what do leaders do? They contribute. And so look at how you're contributing to the workplace. Am I using my skill set? I have abilities and experiences and giftings. Am I actually utilizing these? Good bosses will play to our strengths and recognize this, or leaders in the workplace. So how are you embracing your worth and embracing the worth in those around you, even if they might get on your nerves?
Let's get back to your 4 ways to improve. I guess your relationships within a toxic environment is becoming a leader.
Yeah, so we're all leaders, no matter where we are, actually, whether we're in the home or in the workplace. We are all leading in some way, shape, or form, even if we don't have a million people that are under us that we're guiding. Even if we are just being watched, we are leading in some way. And so look at how you're leading every single day. Wake up, okay, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give my best. I'm not going to take my coworkers for granted, even if they are bugging me. The ones that actually are toxic and bringing in the negativity, I'm going to put my hula hoop around me. And I'm going to make this the best day possible before I decide to punt and run.
Dr. Mel, before we go, I got a quick question from someone watching us now. Should you address the toxic person at work? That may be a loaded question.
That is a great question. So my first question would be, are they approachable? Are they teachable? Are they open? Do they want to grow and become more? Or are they walls up, I'm resistant, don't even come to me because I don't want to hear it? So you have to look at whether or not they are approachable and open first. And if they are, then I would definitely communicate in healthy ways. Don't take the responses personally and come at it as this is going to better the situation if we can work together.
Great insight.
People aren't open to that.
Dr. Mel, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great insight. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me, Cleo.
Of course.